Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at latest update on BOB or the build on Bitcoin or the Bob token. So I did cover it, like I did make a detailed review on this like few days back when it came out, but now we have like a pretty good history. I did not have that much history to talk about on this price, so we now have a really good history, and we'll also take a look at its price as well as what is happening with the Bob and why it has seen this massive surge as well. Now, before that, I will just give you a quick overview of the what Bob is. Basically, Bob is building the gateway to Bitcoin DeFi, unlocking real utility for the world's most important asset. It uses like a unique hybrid chain model that has like it combines ZK proofs and BTC finality to secure all transactions and provide native rollup bridges to both Ethereum and Bitcoin. That is why it is like really interesting. It does also like provides like native BTC DeFi development as well. BTC on Bob is just BTC, so that is like really interesting, and it is like powered by Bit Virtual Machine, as you can see here. And as of now, this is how the ecosystem looks like. You can do a lot with it. As you can see, it has like shown a really good growth as well. Of course, it was really big back in April as well as back in March, but it has been like in the downtrend trajectory after that. Now if you look here, it is still struggling. It did see a really massive jump in TVL. I think that was due to like the airdrop points and something like that, but as of now it is it is trying to go up as well after hitting like 82 million. Now the reason why the token is going up is like really easy to understand. So basically 3 hours ago the token was listed on the BitHub, and that is most likely why the token is going up, at least from what I can see, because as of now tokens on BitHub are doing extremely well, and we also have like Ancient Air that is doing extremely well. So I think this massive surge is like due to that BitHub listing, and it did happen exactly like 3 to 4 hours ago. So if you look here, so we have a massive move happening after this exact listing. Now another news that I can think of would be that Ethereum's next major upgrade is happening on December 3rd, and Bob will be supporting it from day one. So that is another thing that is like really interesting about the Bob. So we have these two news that are basically happening on the exact same time. So there is a possibility that both of them are basically like the reason why the Bob is going up as of now. So like we'll talk about its price at the end, but let's just look at let's just like have a quick overview and its tokenomics, and after that we'll talk about its price in a little bit more detail. So if we look at like if we look at its tokenomics, so you can check the Bob, of course. So that is like one of the utility that it has, and it has a max supply of 10 billion, out of which like 50% they are giving to the community, and the rest is like divided like this. So basically 44.76% to the community, after that 4.15% to the initial claims, 2% to the community sale, 10% to the foundation, 20% to the early backers, and core contributors gets like 19%. So like somewhere around, I would say, to like 300 yes, 300, I think somewhere around like 3900 tokens are like going towards like investors and the team. So that is like really interesting. So basically like 3.9 billion. Now if you look at the log token, this is how it looks like. So just now at least the vesting is like good, so we won't have any sell pressure from the early bakers as well as from the core contributors for like 1 year. So that's really good. So that means no sell pressure from these entities for like 1 year. Now in terms of its utility, so it can be used for the staking, so you can of course stake it, and they also have something called future Bob fee model and buyback program. So in the future they're planning to implement like buyback as well as fee model. So this is something that should like boost Bob in the future, but as of now I think we'll have to wait for that when the adoption of the BOB becomes really big. Now it is also protocol utility. As you can see here, Bob token holder may receive priority access to new Bob features and benefits such as like Bob earn increases the number of connected walls and something like that. Really interesting, I would say, fairly good utilities for the token. Now if we talk about price, this is where things get really interesting. So if you look here, if we look at its market cap, like it did actually peak somewhere around 56 million, and as of now it is at like 42, I would say. So there is a possibility that it goes for a new all-time high, since the token did launch around like 13 days ago. And if you look at the overall market, the market is doing extremely well, so there is a possibility that we could see a really good surge from the Bob. And again, you have to understand that the token is still not available on the Binance. So if it gets listed on the Binance, there's a possibility that it could see another massive surge. And again, another listing that I think would be really interesting for the Bob would be the Upbit listing. And if the Upbit listing happens, or let's say if the Binance listing happens, there's a possibility that the Bob like makes some massive move. So as of now, I'm expecting both of those listings, and if you do get those listings, there's a possibility that the Bob could see a really good recovery. Now in terms of like its price, if you're planning to get this token, I would say as of now it is better to wait till like it goes in a range of like 1.4 or like in between 1.5. I think we'll definitely see a correction. As of now, we don't have that many sellers in the market, surprisingly, so there's a possibility that it just does this and it goes for that like 2.5 cent to like 2.8 cent, because from what I can see, we don't have that many sellers in the market. Now again, if we do get a massive like crash from here, there's a possibility that it may actually go as low as 1.4 cent or even as low as 1.2 cent. After that, we see another leg up. So these are the two different scenarios that I'm looking at as of now. Now the token does have a really strong resistance that is going to be somewhere around 2.5 to 2.8. So if you can get a breakout above from these levels, there's a possibility that Bob goes as high as 100 mil. And if it does go as high as 100 mil in terms of its market cap, that means the price of the Bob will be somewhere around like 4.2 to 4.3 cent, or even I can look at 4.5 cent. So that is like that is the first target that I'm looking at as of now. It is going to be 4.1 to 4.3. I think that is definitely possible for this token because it just launched, and there's a possibility that it like makes this one move. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.